Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'll call this Tuesday, October 8th, 2024, North Liberty City Council meeting to order. Tracy, could we have roll call, please?
Leibold,
Here.
Park,
Here.
Siddick,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Wason.
Here.
Thank you. Item 3 is approval of the agenda. There are no changes to my knowledge. Could I have a motion for approval, please?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Agenda's approved. Item 4 is our consent agenda. Is there anything on there you want to pull off and talk about separately? Otherwise, I'll take a motion for consideration.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Wason, seconded by Smith. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda carries. Item 5 is public comment. Now is the time for anyone in the audience that wishes to make comments on items that are not on our agenda. Please let us know. And it's your turn. I will close public comment time. Item 6 is our engineer's report.
Thank you.
Josiah.
Thank you. Out of Forever Green Road, the sidewalks are now back open to pedestrians. The painted pavement markings have been painted, the seed's down. There will be a punch list walkthrough here the next week, so that one's getting close to wrapping up. A couple updates for you on what's going on out at Centennial Park. Nearly all the building foundations are done with the building. They're working on the columns and piers on the inside and the columns and piers for the stage area outside of the building. The underground mechanical work has started and will continue through the end of October. The geothermal field on the west side of the park has been installed, and now they're working on tying together the well field into the mechanical room of the building. And then more glamorous underground water and sewer work is scheduled to start this month as well. Something that might be interesting to see is they do anticipate starting the steel work in November. So that's when you'll see something coming out of the ground. A follow-up to Ranchaw Way Phase 5. I mentioned the audit at the last meeting. The audit is complete. That's the word we got from the DOT. We'll have a final pay application for the contractor at next meeting to release retainage, and then the city will get their final reimbursement from the DOT for their project funding. Quick update on the fire station programming study that was approved. So the team's working through drafts and reviews of like a space study based on their interviews with staff, what kind of rooms and buildings are needed and wanted, and what kind of space is needed to house equipment and things like that. So they're putting together a framework of what they want to have and what they have now. So when that's done, we'll start going through a couple options. We're looking to provide roughly three options of like, you could do this, you could do that, and here's a third option to look at. That'll go back and forth with meetings with staff, and then ultimately they'll pare that down to 2. We'll develop that a little bit further, and then meet again and pick one option that seems like it's the best and fits the most needs, and then we'll put costs together and finalize that report. And that's targeted for the end of this year in December. North Liberty Road Trail project, that plan has been developed. We added the dog park crossing like we talked about and revised that alignment, and that's into the DOT for review right now. 2 projects that are new for this year, Freedom Park Trail and the Community Center parking lot improvements. Phase 1, 50% designs have been put together for both of those. We'll be meeting with staff the next week, I think this week for one of them and next week for the other one. So more to come on that. The last one I was going to touch base on is Forever Green Road Functional Design Study. The project has received an earmark funding of $2.5 million, and that project is programmed in the statewide transportation plan already for 2024 through 27. The funds need to be used, and a project needs to be bid through the DOT by the summer of 26 to use those funds. So we're looking at ways to pare down this overall large project into a phase 1 to use that initial earmark funding of $2.5 million. So the concepts and the costs we're looking at are possible grading and tree clearing in the middle, The other options we're looking at are building a short section of the roadway, either on the west end or the east end, or a combination of both to get that road started to end. So that is everything I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Josiah. Are there any questions? Appreciate it. Thank you. Item 7, Ryan, the City Administrator Report.
Okay, good evening. Thank you, everyone. Thought I'd start out by noting that leaf pickup, believe it or not, will start next week. Next Monday is when we're planning to do that. And as a reminder, we ask residents to have leaves out in front of their home, in front of their house, or along their curb line by 7 a.m. And then we start making rounds, and we'll continue to pick up leaves as they come down. And right now the plan is through November 22nd. If weather requires us to adjust that schedule or extend it out, we will. All information on leaf pickup can be found on our webpage. I bring this up in addition to being on the website. I bring it up tonight simply because we do receive a lot of questions about it. It's a service that I think a lot of people really appreciate and count on. And so just making folks know that it will begin next week. Understand I missed a good conversation at the last meeting about accessory dwelling units. And as you all know, that was pulled from the current ordinance that's in front of you tonight. We've talked a little bit internally. I've had a conversation with the mayor. We'll plan to bring that back for a discussion with this group here in the near future, probably in the next meeting or two, as time allows. And I believe some folks who were here last time, William and Jeff, would like to visit with you again about it as well. So while it's not included in this ordinance, we will bring it back at least for some discussion with the group. And then lastly, I've mentioned before that our Human Resources Director is going to be retiring at the beginning of 2025, the first couple days into January. I think January 3rd is her last day. We have 4 candidates coming in next week to interview for that position. We'd like to get someone in prior to Deb leaving so that they can have an opportunity to visit with her a bit before she steps away, although she'll continue to be in town, and I'm sure she'll continue to be helpful, but we'd like to get someone teed up there relatively quickly. So we have a committee that will be visiting with those applicants and look to get someone hired here certainly before the month's over. I'll keep you posted on that as we move forward. That's what I have this evening, Mayor, unless there are any questions from the group.
Any questions for Ryan?
Mayor, I would just go back to Centennial Park, and I think with a sizable amount of donors that we have, is it possible for staff to maybe do if it's quarterly or maybe twice a year here as things start coming out of the ground, communication with the donors list? I know Nick has that, just to keep excitement and build excitement as the construction comes up and out of the ground, thanking them for contributions and being part of the project.
I'll visit with them and see what their plan is on that.
Okay, appreciate that.
Anyone else?
So just actually got a thing from the foundation the other day, just saying, hey, thank you, and this is where we're at.
Oh, okay, great.
So,
Item 8 is Mayor's report. Just a couple of quiet things that I did in the community. Friday afternoon, the Greater Iowa City hosted the candidate forum for Representative Miller Meeks. Was able to be there. And then also this morning, they hosted Christina Bohannon. So I was able to be a part of that. There's some folks in North Liberty that I saw both of those as well. So great turnout for those. And then we were all part of the groundbreaking ceremony for the pantry. So other than that, it's been kind of quiet up here. So item 9N is council reports. Anything that you guys have been doing in the community on behalf of the city?
On September 26th, I believe, I attended the annual meeting of the Johnson County Affordable Housing Coalition. Jessica Andino is doing a great job there. They have a good board, doing a lot of good work, trying to find ways to improve access to affordable housing.
Thanks for going there. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Emergency Management Agency met last Thursday. Most of it was about the reports because they didn't have meetings in the summer. A lot of stuff had happened. They had a big drill out to Clear Creek, and they'll have a report out on that here sometime. They were able to use some grant money and got a foam trailer for firefighting that you can use in the area, and then things to protect the water supply especially for people who use water out of the river and stuff. So, and then there's just a lot of equipment that's stashed all over the county and trying to get that consolidated. So they're working with the city of Tiffin to construct a building in kind of cooperation with them out on the west side of town.
Thank you. Brent.
Mayor, I attended the Houses into Homes food. They had a cook-off as a kind of a fundraiser. They made me feel good by telling me I was a celebrity judge. I was certainly not. I was alongside Peyton Sanford and Lucy Olson from the Hawkeye basketball teams. They were the celebrities, but I appreciate them making me try to feel like a celebrity. Well attended, a great event, a lot of people from the community, so thank you all who attended that. Our BT 2030 Board of Directors met this week, a number of things, but to report out here, mark your calendars, the Excellence Awards will be January 30th. I know we always have folks from our council and city that like to participate in that. And then met with a guy in the Big O Foundation to discuss options on a project that the foundation might want to partner with the city on, and more on that to come.
Thanks, Brent.
Thanks, Mayor.
Just quickly, the coffee connections out at South Slope, and just nice little, great conversations out there, great people out there, and nice, love South Slope. Glad they're in our community.
And remind me, what was your Halloween costume?
I'm going to be a ghost.
That's right. It was going to be a ghost. Okay.
And without much effort.
I attended the Coffee Connections as well. I just want to say thank you to South Slope for hosting that. Like you, Mayor, I met with Representative Miller Meeks, so just my appreciation to Greater Iowa City for setting that up and hosting that. I wasn't able to attend this morning's with Christina Bohannon, but really appreciate that effort and having those representatives or those candidates listen to things important to North Liberty. And then finally, for me, I'm just really proud to recognize and say thank you to True North Companies and the True North Legacy Foundation. Made a generous donation to the Centennial Park Next Stage project. Just a couple of notes here. It's really a demonstration of how they're giving pillars and investment in the community make a real difference. And just as an employee and a member of the True North team, just really appreciate their commitment to North Liberty and by extension, the corridor for that contribution and being really connected to what matters here in North Liberty. So I appreciate that. That's it for me, Mayor. Thank you.
They had quite the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a list. Thank you all. Item 10 is our settlement agreement between Tiffin, Coralville, and certain property owners. Item A is discussion and possible action to acknowledge the terms of a settlement agreement between Tiffin, Coralville, and certain property owners. Ryan, I do this begrudgingly, but I'm going to turn this over to Grant.
Okay.
Well, I don't have an awful lot to add besides the excellently written and composed note in the council packet. I suspect whoever wrote that was a really good grasp of everything, and they're probably very good looking also. But for those of you who haven't had a chance to read it, the Reader's Digest version is that there years ago erupted a disagreement between cities of Tiffin and Coralville and the neighboring landowners about the disposition and alignment of the intersection of Forever Green Road and Jasper Road, formerly Old Park Road to the south, and litigation ensued. It's been in litigation for years now, amongst and between the different parties for various and different causes of action. It's complex and ongoing and could be ongoing for years still. The City of North Liberty has not been a party to any of those lawsuits, so good job, everybody. But we would like to be part of a solution. And so we hosted a settlement conference between the parties here that is perhaps overdue, but we offered our services and asked for a seat at the table to be involved if there's a discussion that was going to involve the City of North Liberty. We wanted to be part of it or potentially involve us. So the good news is that the principals involved have agreed on a framework that involves the construction of North Liberty's, our staff's proposed solution, which is the construction of a roundabout. We proposed that originally. We had the design done in 2020, right? It's taken some time for people to come around to that idea, but they have. So after a couple rounds of settlement conferences, and there's some, years worth of conflict has gone into this from multiple sides. But the gist of it is that there's an agreement in place to move forward with two different projects. The first and foremost is the construction of a roundabout that would be a North Liberty-led project. Tiffin would be contributing half the cost of that. North Liberty would be contributing the other half the cost of that. To the south, where old Jasper Old Park Road was vacated, Coralville and Tiffin will be coordinating that through an agreement. And so there's going to be one agreement that's going to be agreed to by all the parties, including North Liberty, that settles all the claims and allows the construction of a roundabout, allows the settlement of all the claims and the disposition of Old Park Road to the south. This is a reasonable agreement. These are reasonable terms. This is not binding on us until we have a 20AD agreement. But this discussion that we have here is for you to have a few questions if you haven't. But mostly the judges put out a document for everybody's lawyer to sign. And what we're asking you to do is just a voice vote. Say, I move to approve authorizing Grant to sign the agreement on behalf of North Liberty, indicating our acceptance of the basic terms, that there are going to be two parts of an agreement, that we're going to be taking the lead on a construction project for that Shai will begin design work on as soon as we putting to paper for design through 2025, with construction to begin in 2026. And that's about as fast as these things can go, folks. So staff strongly recommends approval of this position, but I am here to answer questions if you have any. I am, of course, a veritable font of knowledge, but if I don't have anything on hand, I can also would suggest that I can follow up later on email if there's something that needs digging into.
Thank you, Grant. Are there any questions? I know we've all had some updates, hopefully, along the way with this. Grant, could you give us wording on how you want this motion? What would be a helpful motion for you?
A motion to authorize and acknowledge the proposed terms of settlement as set forth in the council packet. And at this point, you could just say so moved.
So moved.
That was awesome. It's been moved. It's been
And a
moved
second.
and seconded and thirded.
All right.
So, do you guys have any questions?
Thank you.
Sure. I have very little to do with this. But I'm happy to play what little part we did.
Agreed.
I think no questions, but just to the point on Brian made on thank you to all the parties involved. Thank you for their commitment to seeing the larger vision here and getting past whatever has been in the past and a forward path. So that's always worth recognizing and acknowledging. So we appreciate that effort as well.
Tracy, could we just need a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Just for the record, I need to abstain due to a conflict.
Thank you, Eric. We good?
We are great.
Awesome. Thank
you, Council. Thank you.
Item 11 is Buckmoon Villas preliminary site plan, and item A is staff and commission recommendations. Russ.
Thank you, Mayor. This is just a preliminary site plan for 11 townhouse units in 3 buildings on 1.6 acres. This is the multi-family portion along the frontage of Dubuque. That's always been planned for townhouses, so this just formalizes the design of actually how things laid out. They're coming quite well on the subdivision. You can see the streets are paved in there. So this will be an exciting one. Hopefully, I expect that they'll be going vertical this year as soon as they are able to dedicate the infrastructure to the city. I can see Mr. Bernanke in the audience here in case you have any questions, but they are local. They've been great to work with, and we always appreciate that.
Are there any questions for Russ? All right. Thank you, sir. Item B is applicant presentation. Is there anything further from an applicant's presentation? All right. And then I'll move on to item C, which is resolution number 2024-2097, a resolution approving the preliminary site plan for Buckmoon Villas, lot 58 through 60, North Liberty, Iowa. Could I have a motion for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Park, seconded by Sittig. You guys have any questions?
Mayor, just a comment. As this progresses, the only concern that I've had, Russ, was in the beginning in the build of the stormwater retention pond and some of the runoff issues that were there. Are we assured that that's fixed and there's no issues moving forward with that?
Yes, great question. And we had a very robust review during the subdivision improvements. As you recall, we originally planned for the trail to extend along the north side of their property, but we knew that they had to accept the stormwater drainage from Fox Run, and so that they had relocated the path into their subdivision, and we have storm drains along there. So we're very confident that it meets all city regulations, and we'll certainly do an inspection when we're ready to dedicate everything. So
Okay.
we
Thank
feel
you.
good about it.
Thank you.
Good question. Anything else? Tracy, could we have roll call, please?
Leibel,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
Wason,
Aye.
Sittig.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 12 is parking resolution, and item A is resolution number 2024-98, a resolution approving parking control devices in the city of North Liberty, Iowa. Could I have a motion for consideration?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Wason, seconded by Park. Any questions about that? Tracy, could I have a roll call, please?
Smith,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Sittig,
Aye.
Leibel,
Aye.
Wason.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 13 is Code of Ordinances amendments, and this is second consideration of ordinance number 2024-09, an ordinance amending the zoning code and subdivision ordinance regulations for the preliminary site plans, zoning certificates, defined terms, residential density, permitted uses and use standards, parking requirements, parking lot landscaping, fences and walls, yard encroachments, design standards, and required improvements for subdivisions. Could I have a motion for consideration, please?
So moved.
Moved by Park,
Second.
seconded by Smith. Do you guys have any questions on here?
So just clarifying, there's no ADU part in this.
Everything with respect to ADUs has been pulled out.
Tracy, could I have roll call, please?
Sittig,
Aye.
Park,
Aye.
Wason,
Aye.
Leibel,
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Motion carries. And item 14 is Corridor Media Properties LLC rezoning, and this is our third consideration and adoption of ordinance number 2024-08, an ordinance amending the zoning map district designation for certain property located in North Liberty, Iowa from ORP, Office and Research Park District, to C3, Higher Intensity Commercial District. Could I have a motion for our consideration and adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Sittig and seconded by Leibold. Any other questions on this one? Tracy, could I have roll call, please?
Wason,
Aye.
Park,
Abstain due to a conflict.
Sittig,
Aye.
Leibel,
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you all. And item 15 is old business. Anything else to bring up? 16, new business. 17, could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.